I'm Don Tripp. I'm the city manager here in Westminster, and we're taping today something that's going to be given to our workforce and pushed out in our media in the community both. So I'll introduce myself. For employees, I want you to know that the subject today is really, really important to us as an organization. For those members of the community, I want you to know that it's what you're going to hear today is a subject that is alarming and a bit uncomfortable, but at the same time is something important to talk about, which is kind of the point of being here today. April is Sexual Assault Awareness and Child Abuse Month, and also just recently has become Start by Believing Month. And our city council member on my right, Anita Seitz, and Drew Hogan, who's with our victim advocate program in the police department, are joining me here today because they were both crucial and instrumental in beginning our Start by Believing campaign here in the city of Westminster. They're the experts on this, and I'll come back to me a little bit later. But I want to ask the two of them if you would start to talk maybe just a little bit about the background of these important programs and messages, and whatever kind of messages you'd like our community to have.
Thank you, Don. My name's Anita Seitz, and I am the Westminster Mayor Pro Tem. I've been on City Council for just over 5 years, and about 2 years ago, I had a colleague from another council come to me and say, listen, my community has really made an effort to address the issue of sexual assault, and I know this is an issue you care about based off of some boards that I volunteer on. He said, I'd like you to maybe take on this charge in your community. One thing that was really important to me was that this wasn't just a city-run effort, but that we worked with community members and really created a collaborative of different leaders within our community to see how they wanted to address this issue and if they wanted to address this issue. After multiple months of strategic planning, our community decided unanimously that yes, we wanted to address the issue, but we wanted to do so in a way that didn't just raise awareness, but empowered our residents. We wanted to make sure that our residents knew how to respond, that they had the tools if someone disclosed to them that they had been assaulted. Sexual assault is a ubiquitous problem. If 1 in 4 homes was burning down in our community, it would be an emergency. But the issue of sexual assault unfortunately shares those statistics. So we wanted to make sure that people knew how to respond. It's typically not law enforcement that someone first comes to. It is a friend, a family member, a coach, or a teacher. Most of us aren't prepared to know how to respond. And what's so great about the Start by Believing campaign is it's very simple, but it's very effective. First, you let the person know that you believe them. Second, you let them know it's not their fault. And third, you ask them how you can help. By directing them to resources and professionals, we lower the trauma on those individuals, we have better outcomes, and they're more likely to go to law enforcement. This holds perpetrators accountable, and it stops the cycle of shame. I'd like Drew to talk more about those statistics.
Thank you, Anita. I'm Drew Hogan. I'm the Victim Services Coordinator for the Westminster Police Department. Sexual assault this is Sexual Assault Month, as Don had mentioned, but this is something that we pay attention to, of course, every day of the week at the police department. Sexual assault is really prevalent, as Anita had mentioned, in our communities. 1 in 4 women will experience sexual assault in their lifetime, and 1 in 13 men. These are from self-reporting surveys. Of course, not all of those people walk into the police department. So that's certainly very concerning. What we do know through scientific surveys is that people who do not address their assaults and their victimization with either support of family or mental health support have a much higher experience of PTSD. They're at a much higher rate of attempting suicides. 1 in 13 women who do not seek mental health treatment will attempt suicide. So it's really a community problem, and something that we really want to address with the community. And so Start by Believing helps us reach into the community through our partners at the rec center, at schools, community members, moms and dads, people like Anita and I who work for the city and represent the city, and people who just every day go to the grocery store will have access to this information. This will help children, this will help men, this will help women. It's not just a woman's issue. It really approaches our entire community. And when people are not healthy, emotionally and mentally, it makes a big difference in how our community functions in total. So we want to make sure that those people get the help and the assistance that they need.
One of the things I love about Westminster is our residents respond to calls to action. Our coalition, as Drew mentioned, is really diverse. We have both chambers of commerce, we have soccer, we have our parks recs, our police department, our district attorney's office, our school districts, just to name a few, at the table working on this important issue, because our residents' public health and safety is so important to us. So we're going to ask you, take the pledge. All we're asking you to do is commit that if someone comes to you and says that they've been assaulted, you will simply respond by saying, I believe you, it's not your fault, and how can I help? This is not getting rid of due process. Investigators investigate. We as friends and family need to show our support. Thank you so much for your time, and please take the pledge to start by believing.
Well, Anita, Mayor Pro Tem, and Drew, thanks so much for being here and talking about this subject today. I just want to put an exclamation point on it. The website that gives you an opportunity to complete this pledge is Start by Believing Westminster. If you Google that phrase, you'll come up with the website. And there's an opportunity there to help us get past an original goal, which was for 1,000 signatures. I think we're at about 750 signatures to date, so I know there's more than 250 people watching this today, but I would challenge all of you to say, let's get that number to 10,000. You know, when you think about the, the data here and the statistics, to our employees and to our citizens both, you know, what this really means is you've got people who you work with every day who have experienced this, and family members, neighbors, people who are parts of your clubs and organizations. And you know, sometimes you don't know who it is that's going to be in a position. You don't know when you're going to be there after something's happened, and they're thinking about whether or not they should talk about it. So I would just say taking the pledge is, of course, important from the standpoint of the responsibility we all have, but meaning the pledge, meaning the and to be that open person that is willing to be your neighbor, your friends, your coworkers, person they can go to in this time of need. So we've got so many great people working on these programs. This is a month to celebrate it. We need to, I think, be aware and be cognizant that this is a real issue in our society, and we all have a responsibility. So to citizens, community members in Westminster, thanks for taking a few minutes out to listen to this important message. To our employees, keep your eyes open and be willing to support each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, it's westybelieves.com. We have, I think, Dawn is right, around 750 people that have signed the pledge already. We hope you'll join them, and we hope you'll share it with your friends. I did not mention that we are part of the national campaign to Start by Believing, which is part of In Violence Against Women International. There are multiple other communities in Colorado who've taken on this pledge. Most recently, North Glen is one of them. So join. This is an issue that a lot of different community leaders care about, and we hope you care about it too.